you continued to experience God in a difficult journey.
Without a doubt. God was there at every turn, even though I was broken, and really acted out in ways that fatherless kids very commonly do. A lot of feelings of abandonment and feelings that things were all my fault and that I wasn't worthy. And where these come from, as a kid, you don't know. You just know you feel them but don't understand why. But God stood in every single one of those situations and used every one of them to draw me closer to Him. And this was something that I didn't realize until I was older and went through another terrible experience where God stopped my life and said, "Look, I've been here your whole life, trust me now." Now, I did look up my father about 20 years after, and I had dreamt of what a dad would be like for many years because there was a piece of me missing. And when I would dream of a father, he would be somebody who would never abandon me, somebody who would always love me and help me through this life. Well, to try to fill that hole, I went and I found my father, my earthly dad, and I knew him for a few years, which was very
You stayed in
difficult.
touch with him
I stayed
after
in touch
you
with him for a
reconnected.
couple of years. But I realized that he wasn't the father that I had dreamt of all my life, and that the father that I had dreamt of was already with me. And that my Heavenly Father walked with me through all of these times. And there's a lot of miracles in there, but God's very personal. It's the day-to-day little things that He cares about you, not that He's out there to show the world. And He walks with me today. And my Heavenly Father is everything that I could have ever dreamt of. And you can't ask for a better dad.
You know, the process, you've kind of summed it up very neatly, and there's nothing neat about this book. In fact, I just want to go back to your mom. I mean, a gun was emptied, pointed at her and emptied, and not one bullet struck her.
That's correct.
Which is one of a number of evidences of God intervening, surely, unless the shooter was on drugs. I mean, how could she miss every time? The book is laced, if you've read This Present Darkness or Piercing the Darkness by Frank Peretti, you've had a look at what goes on in the cosmos. It's not a little white guy and a little red guy. It's angels and demons who are battling it out in the spiritual war zone we live in. And you keep coming back to that and what they might have been up to as your complex story unfolds.
Yes, absolutely. In the story, it weaves three parts. One of the parts peels back that spiritual realm and takes a look at not only the battle that is taking place for our souls in really this temporary place that we live on earth, which is just our beginning, but more importantly, takes a look at where my Heavenly Father stood in that gap and walked me through and used those destructive behaviors and decisions to draw me to Him.
One of those decisions was a chapter you call Tied and Knotted.
Yes.
A marriage that shouldn't have happened.
Yes.
And I just want to read this paragraph just to hear the heart. How old would you be here where you're...
19?
Well, you were young.
Very young.
Very young. I found a church to attend and even tried to get Rhonda to join me, but usually I went alone. I can remember sitting in the pew screaming in my soul for a dad or something to heal my soul. I usually couldn't concentrate on the preacher or connect with the others who attended. Everywhere I went, I continually looked over my shoulder, wondering if my dad might be there. It just is, you know, as we've heard many times, identity and destiny is tied to the father relationship. And so we feel it. We feel that soul reaching and yearning through the whole journey. You did go into therapy.
Yes.
You say it's the hardest and best thing you ever did.
Absolutely.
And made the decision to connect with that. It was a missing piece. And it took you time to find your dad. I think one of the alarming things